Oh, Metal.
Hey, y'all. How are you?
Hey, because she looked tall on TV.
That's what everyone be saying.
Hell, you get over them hurdles.
Yeah, you look tall on
That
TV.
part.
Hey, Chan.
That's what everyone be saying.
Wait. Let's see the
Yeah, it's in
medal.
a plastic bag. My jeweler gave it to me, but I brought the medal for y'all, so y'all can see.
You gotta show the people that.
Look at
That's
that.
nice there.
Yeah. Oh, don't drop
Can I
it.
bite
now.
it?
Don't drop it. If you could bite it, a lot of people's hands been on it, though.
Oh, you want to bite it.
Don't worry, my mouth done been worse places than this.
Let me see Chan. Let me see Chan.
Yeah, put it on.
Yeah.
Isn't it heavy?
That joker heavy. You might do a
Imagine
front
the
flip.
multiple. Like, people who got hella on.
Hey, Chad, you needed that when you raised Quincy at the Fanatics
I
match.
know, you got blown
That was the
up.
only way you was going to get a
What
goal.
happened?
I see
You
you
see
got
my
blown
phone?
out. I see you got
I
blown
used to run the
out.
110s in high school.
Wasn't looking like it.
3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. And you got that back. I was looking at your back leg. You got a good back leg that you can.
Yeah, that trail leg. That trail leg.
Hold up, limitless. Niggas stomach got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On this vision I can trust. Limitless. Niggas stomach got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On this vision I can trust. Limitless. Niggas stomach got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up.
Well, Masai Russell, welcome to the Pivot. We
Thank
are
you.
extremely excited about this. It's Channing Crowder, Fred Taylor. I'm Ryan Clark. It's the Pivot, a part of Fanatics. Thank you, Pivot fam, for pivoting with us. So normally I split the room by Super Bowls. Today we're just gonna split it by champion, right? You're a champion, right? You were the best at what you do in the entire world. I mean, Noah says football, if you just win the Super Bowl, it's not the best in the world, but we're gonna just consider that I was when it happened, right? I remember though, I'm just playing. I remember the night before the Super Bowl and understanding it's like the biggest sporting event in my world. Tell me about your sleepless night before the gold medal race.
Trying to bring myself back to that because, it was the first time I've experienced anything like that. The first time I was at the Olympics was the first time y'all see me on the stage. So for me, I have an Oura ring and it tracks my sleep, but it was dead that night. But it felt like I got no sleep at all. So I don't know how much sleep I actually got because when you don't get no REM sleep, it feels like you didn't sleep at all. So for me, I don't know how much sleep I got. And I was just trying to close my eyes and just take a nap. And I just was like, only thing I could think of is the race. The race of like me winning and what was gonna play out. It was definitely a sleepless night. And then even after the race, I got an hour and a half of sleep. I was like, come on, man.
Dude,
I already didn't sleep the night
you know
before.
how track athletes talk about like
Come
the
on,
rest of their life? If you don't get any REM sleep, you're actually not sleep.
No,
So you
I
aren't
just
in a
started getting into it.
Hey, you are in a dream state. And the dream state is when your muscles recuperate.
But she has to
No,
take
but
her-
I told myself when I woke up that morning, I was like, excuse my language, I'll be damned if I compete at the Olympics and I let me not getting some sleep the day of my race affect my performance, pretty much. I'm like, I done trained my whole entire life for this moment and I'm not gonna allow anything at this moment in time to deter me from this goal. And that was my mindset.
But she also takes her Ollie gummies 30 minutes before. I looked at your Instagram.
I'm like, oh, what you know about that?
But like you're saying, hours and hours.
Yeah.
12 hours of thinking about 12 seconds.
Yeah.
You're saying you're thinking about the race. It's 12 seconds. What are you thinking about 12 seconds for 12 hours?
Shoot, nothing. I'm blanked out. Are you talking about during my race?
I'm talking about like the lead
the
up.
lead
Like you're
up?
saying,
I'm
you
just
can't
thinking about-
sleep, but it's 12
Yeah,
seconds.
no, it's crazy because the 12 seconds is so detrimental because, for my event, you hit a hurdle, you clip your toenail, you drag your foot the wrong way. Like, it's just the margin of error is so much smaller. So, yeah, that 12 seconds can make or break how the rest of your life can play out. So that's what I'm thinking in my head. And like I said, for me, only thing I was thinking about, or only thing that I can see and visualize was me coming through that line first. Like, I just couldn't think about nothing else. And I'm glad that was a visualization that I was having because, I ended up attaining it.
How long have you been chasing chicken dripped off in that sauce, though?
Yo, y'all are funny. You got that from my last post?
Boss man.
That was just my caption on my last post.
I know.
So
we got to do our research somehow.
I don't know. I feel like I've been chasing chicken. I wouldn't even say I'm chasing it. I'm just doing what's meant for me, and the things that have been meant for me have come to fruition. So I wouldn't say I'm chasing nothing. That was just a good caption for that post.
That was a great caption, which I guess
Yeah.
going back to that moment, you know, what RC and Channing were mentioning on the way to Olympic gold. What sort of in your whole routine, right, getting you to that point? Like before we go and play games, we have back in the day when we played, we had big headphones. Y'all got Beats by Pros and AirPod Pros and all that. What's your routine just to get you in that safe space so you can go out there and dominate? Like what's on your playlist before, like doing your warm-ups and getting ready for event?
So initially before I get to the track, I'm journaling, I'm just kind of meditating, getting into a calm state, calm mind, and just really being at ease. I never really got into that until really this year, because this was a very tough season for me. I don't know if y'all know that, but this is a very tough year for me. So, you know, I just tried to keep my routine as consistent as possible. And then I feel like the thing that helped me the most was just listening to motivational talks from Les Brown. I don't know what it is in his voice, the things that he just says, it just gives it to me. And then by the time I start competing, I just turn on, you know, whatever was on my playlist. It doesn't really matter at that point because I've already set the foundation for how the day's gonna go just through, you know, my motivational hearings and, you know, my journaling, the things that I see myself doing for the day, the goals that I see for myself that day, and just the positive affirmations and just, like I said, it's just that foundation. It just sets the day up. So by the time I get to the track, it's like, I'm ready.
Expound on the tough season. Like, why was it so tough?
Yeah, it was super tough because, for one, I started off being unsponsored. When I came out of college, I had a contract, but, you know, I didn't take the contract, and it was a lot that went on. It was a lot of things being said that wasn't true and true things that weren't being said. So it was just a lot going on that end. So I ended up walking away from a contract that I had, just taking a chance on myself. And it ended up, you know, delaying my signing process. And I thought that it was going to be a much quicker process. And then by the time I started my season, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be sponsored by the time, you know, this next season starts, which is the season that I'm in. And you know, I ended up not having that sponsor. So I just feel like I attached myself to this sponsorship that I didn't get. So now it's just like, all right, you know, no one really cares if I show up or not. Like, why am I here? Why am I coming? Who am I showing up for? And that's why I give so much credit and thanks to my boyfriend, because at that time, I was just mentally checked out. Practice was harder than ever. Like, I know y'all sport is mental, our sport is mental. So if you're not in the right headspace, it's just hard to show up every day. So for me, he was just pretty much telling me, you know, a contract does not make you run fast. It doesn't allow you to do the things that you want to do. It doesn't make you run fast or slow. So if you're going to determine if money makes you run fast or not, then you should just quit now. And you know, I had to take a step back, talking to a very logical man. You know, me being a woman in my emotions, I was just going crazy. But yeah, it was super hard. And then coming into the start of the season, like I said, I wasn't sponsored. So I just kind of cared so much about how others perceived me. Because I am big on social media. I do have a following. People are asking me, oh, like, why didn't you sign? I heard that you were signing. I heard that, you know, you were going with this partner, and then it didn't happen. So, you know, I'm stepping to the line thinking about what everyone else is thinking of me, rather than just focusing on my 10 hurdles. And then another thing, I had like a hurdle hitting problem. And then I just started to overcomplicate it. I started to overcomplicate my drills, my steps, like everything. I was just overthinking the whole thing. And track is so mental. So if you're not aligned with the mind, body, spirit, you're gonna be able to tell. So I fell in my first outdoor meet. I went to China. I came 4th and 6th place in my first 2 Diamond Leagues. Wow. And then, I mean, which wasn't terrible, but I mean, I still wasn't running the times that I had run in college. And throughout this point, becoming a professional, as you guys know, is a transitional period. I was competing without my coach. I was traveling the world, and I was just like trying to figure it out, trying to coach myself, you know, trying to do as best as I can. And then I had ran like 12:88 at a meet in LA. Like, I was like, all right, what's going on? Because my personal best at the time was 12:36.
Wow.
So I ran 12:88, 12:80. I came last place at the Prefontaine Classic. And then I had a little spark because I'm the type of person, I just didn't give up. I just keep pushing and kept having faith. I ran 12:60 and I was the season best and I was happy. And then I took a step back. I got my mind right for Olympic trials, ended up winning it, breaking the Olympic trials meet record, came to the Olympics, won it, did my big one, and I mean, now the rest is history.
Love it.
But why? Because I'm old. You were a puppy. I could be your damn daddy, to be honest. But we were looking, and I saw you cried at the qualifying because you were like, the same thing, my season's been so hard.
Yeah.
And people were saying this about me. People were saying that about me. I signed my deal, and they say, now I'm trash. And that was your words. Why in the fuck do you care what them people that couldn't run a 18
No, absolutely.
care about somebody that's mad about a 12.8? Why do you care so much?
I feel like it's easier said than done because I don't want to say that, like, of course I cared, but I feel like I was more emotional about everything just coming to fruition that I seen in my dreams. And then I think that the comments that people were saying entered into my subconscious mind, and I internalized it to like basically show y'all like, oh, this is what y'all think about me. Now I'm gonna show y'all, you know, throw y'all words back in y'all face, pretty much. Yeah. And I mean, I do read comments, and I'm not used to the negative comments, but now that I've become more known in the sport and more famous on social media, it's always gonna be some people that's, you know, just talking they talk. It's like, like, please. But it is, I shouldn't care, but I'm learning to not more and more every day. I'm gonna say that.
Send them a picture of this.
No, for real.
But
Literally.
I do think that's part of it. We work with somebody very often that as close to anyone who can truly not care what people think of them, he is that person, right? I think what the people close to him say matters, but I don't believe he truly cares about outside perception. But also, when you are in the public eye, the perception of you and what people think of you is sometimes the reality, right? If people do believe you to be great, you can become that because you start to internalize that part of it, but it also allows you to ride the ebbs and flows of what they think, right? If I'm gonna rise by the applause, I'm also gonna fall by the boos.
Right.
Right? And I do believe you gotta try to manage that, especially in your generation that grew up with things we didn't. Like, we didn't have Twitter and Instagram. And so it actually was no way to become like sort of famous and popular without success.
Right.
Right? And this generation is different, but you're talking about the outside things. I know you write goals, right? I've actually seen what the goals were. Yeah. Right, that they were 60-meter indoors and there were these certain championships. And not only were you not sponsored at one point, you mentioned the Prefontaine Diamond League, you weren't achieving certain goals that you had set for yourself that were tangible goals. Yeah. How did you continue to believe that gold medal, right, that breaking Gail Devers meet record in the trials, how did you continue to believe that was possible?
For me, I'm just a relentless person, and I'm the type of person, I'm gonna live what I preach. I feel like it's always easy to say, you know, never give up when it's hard, never do this when it's hard. And I always said, like, my parents gave me a pretty good life. I never had to really want for nothing, you know, growing up just a little bit, but my mom, she's now a doctor. So we didn't have to stay in that too long, which a lot of people don't know. But for me, I've always said, like, you know, I've never really went through much. Like, I've never really went through much. And I feel like, you know, when you start saying things like that, God be like, all right, I'm gonna show you. So, you know, I didn't think that this year I was faced with the hardest trials ever. And like I said, I have to practice what I preach. It's easy to say it, but when you in it, you gotta be the example. And I just told myself, you know, on the other side of this is gonna be something. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm just not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. And I feel like that's what just built the savage in me. Because I feel like I was already a dog, but like, I feel like now there's truly nothing that I can't accomplish because I pass my test, this test that was meant for me at this moment in time. And I wanted to quit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard, but I just knew there was gonna be something on the other side of this that I was gonna be proud of. When I hit the hurdle in Budapest last year, I literally said that. That's the thing I love about myself the most. Like, when I hit the hurdle, didn't make it to the final, I was just like, I don't know what's gonna come from this that I'm gonna be proud of. I work hard. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. I was just saying all these different things when I just had a season-ending performance. And I'm just so impressed with my grit, how I continue to show up. I didn't know what the outcome was gonna be, but I just let that ego just die of where I expected myself to be and what everyone expected from me, and just allow my body to do and let truly, like, I feel like I can't explain it because I just feel like it's just of God. Like, I just really let go and let God. Like, when I ran the first round, I PR'd. I ran 12:35 from running 12:7 my last race leading up to trials. 12:35, 12:36, 12:25. No one had me making the Olympic team. No one definitely had me winning. And in that moment, I just felt like I proved myself right and I proved everyone else wrong.
What old people did you grow up around? Because, like, I'm old, right?
Well, you look good.
Thank you, I appreciate you, my girl. Black don't crack, girl.
Lord,
you know what I'm saying?
Jesus,
that.
don't
hey,
say
you know that
that.
black don't crack, girl. Yeah.
Please don't.
But honestly, though, and I say that jokingly, but there's a poise and a maturity, right, to the way you see trials that you don't often see in young people. Right, it's the OGs you talk to, as they call them, the aunties, right? The unks and the aunties who have been through things and who have seen these hardships, and they may not have been able to deal with them when they first faced them, right? But it's that second time around, that third time around, where they have an understanding of themselves. You said you didn't go through a ton, right? And you said your mom and your parents gave you a certain life. So how, when these things hit you for the first time, were you able to be settled, at the Prefontaine and at the Diamond League and say, okay, look, there's something better for me on the other side of this.
Yeah.
I have to continue to stay in who I am in order to get to it, though.
Yeah, I think that it's just the way that my mindset is just kind of structured, because to say that I've never been through anything is just like, of course, everyone goes through everything or things, whatever, that may be to you, because in high school, I had a very tough time. My mother was sick. My whole team didn't like me. They was mad that I was wearing my USA gear at practice. Like, the little things like that. But this was definitely the most life-changing moment where, like, I just outdid myself in a way that I couldn't even imagine. And I think, like I said, for me, it's just a mindset thing. I think the way that I look at the trials, like the trials and tribulations, it's just all about how you handle them. And I ended up reading The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And I feel like that book just truly changed my mind, changed my thoughts, changed the way I spoke over situations, the way that I looked at just life as a whole. And the subconscious mind is just so powerful, and a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the things that enter into their life, they've already spoken over themselves. So for me, I just try to speak positive. Like, even if I want to say something negative, I don't even say it. If I don't want to be at practice, I'm not going to say it, because now it's going to make the workout 10 times harder. So for me, I think it's just a mindset thing. Yeah, and that's exactly what I live by, and I will forever live by it.
I love that.
My dad, he's just like, everything that you said that you were gonna do, you've done it. And it literally brings him to tears every single time.
I love that.
How did the pressure, how did the anxiety, how did the sleepless nights, how did it build up? Because I guarantee, like, I don't know much about your high school career, but I for sure know you was wearing them girls' ass out. And then in college, you get there, and you were saying even in high school, they was mad about the USA stuff, they was mad about it, but like, the pressure built up, and then now, RC asked about it the night before the Olympics, like, as the pressure built, how did you deal with it, and how much pressure, anxiety, mental stress was that build up to, okay, I'm racing these little girls.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm racing these teenagers.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm racing a motherfucker from Russia that's been doing this 10 years. Like, how was that progression of just
Why you say Russia?
And nobody runs from Russia?
I think that they do, but they just aren't allowed to
say Russia?
show like their country. They're not allowed to, like, actually promote their country. Because I think they got in trouble for like.
Okay, well, Belgium.
Yeah, let's say that. Let's say that.
You want some waffles now?
Let's say that.
But as that, as your
for
your
real.
fame grows, your career
Yeah.
grows, but
I mean, this year, like I said, the professional piece is just a big transition. You're going from running against, girls in college. Everyone's talented in college, especially coming out of the SEC.
Yeah.
It's highly competitive. But when you lining up against Olympic champ, these are different people. Olympic champ, world record holder. And then it's like, you had the talent, but it's like, you haven't reached the level that they've reached. So just in the back of your mind, it's like, they low-key got a little bit of a more experience, more edge type of thing. I think that everything that I went through from last year, from 2023, my last college season, just gave me the foundation that I needed for this year. I broke 2 collegiate records, but I did not become an NCAA champion in either indoor or outdoor because of my mental, because I allowed the pressure to become bigger than what I was doing, and I just wasn't within my mind, body, spirit alignment. And I think that, like I said, I feel like God just shows you tests, or he puts you through it, and he gonna keep putting you through it until you pass it. So for me, I feel like I failed 2 tests last year at NCAA's, indoor, NCAA outdoor, but I passed it this year at Olympic trials and at the Olympics. Because I could always get the job done, but I could never get it done when it counted most. And that's what a lot of people were saying. And, the haters, like, Masai just be getting too nervous when she competes. She hits hurdles, she does this, she does that. Like, no one can say nothing now.
Yeah.
To say the least, I mean.
Nah, for sure.
Masai, I want to ask you, why you like your oatmeal so watery?
Who, I said that?
Yeah, you said that.
Where did I say that?
Just-
On a YouTube video or something?
Yeah, you like your oatmeal that watery?
Oh, I know what video you're talking about. See, it's specific oatmeals. The one at the house, it has to be watery, because if you warm it up for too long, it just be too stiff, and it just be thick
Just get
around
clumpy?
the bowl. So it's like, all right, I gotta make another batch.
Are you a really good cook?
A really good cook is crazy, but I can cook.
Yeah?
I say I'm a good cook, but a really good, that's a stretch.
listen, Freddie, she making microwave oatmeal. She can't really cook.
No one makes it on the stove.
Microwave
no more.
oatmeal?
Oatmeal actually looked pretty decent. They were just like water.
In the microwave?
She poured like 3 cups of water to 1 cup of. They were wet. They were.
No, it was just, it was like, what was it, 3/4 or something?
No, but
it was
seriously,
3/4.
you in that same. I think in that same video, you said, "Welcome to Lexington, Kentucky, home of the world-class athletes." And we played at other SEC schools, and we've never heard anyone ever in life say that. But
It's hurdle you, though.
no. But to your defense, yourself, Sidney McLaurin, and when you get into the other sprints, Abby Steiner, that university has developed some amazing women in track and field. How does it make you feel to have gone to Paris, the Olympics, and to bring back gold, and go to look back and see when you first stepped foot on campus, the grind, the sacrifice, the commitment, everything it took to get through it. And now you're an Olympic champion. You're right there in the same conversation with Sydney, a world record holder, and all those other women who put that same work and effort in. How does it make you feel to represent not only the U.S., but yourself and the University of Kentucky?
It just means the world, especially because Kentucky is Hurdle U, and the fact that I'm still holding this standard up, and the other women who did those great things were with a different coach at University of Kentucky, and now that the coach that I'm with is still holding that standard up, it just speaks to University of Kentucky, it just speaks to the standard, and I mean, it's just such a blessing and an honor to know how far I've come, not even from when I stepped foot on campus, but from when I started running track when I was 8 years old. And honestly and truthfully, I'm still new to the hurdles. I ran the 100 hurdles 4 times before coming to college. So the fact that I, took my time and in 5 years became the collegiate record holder in the 100 hurdles, I mean, it just speaks to my work ethic, my grind, the person that I am at the core. And like I said, it's just such a blessing and an honor that I can represent myself in such an amazing way, that I can be an example to those younger than me. Like now that I'm friends with the women that I used to look up to, Sonya Richards, Dawn Harper, like these are legends. And now that they know who I am and they're like, girl, like calling me on the phone. I'm like, it's just showing me that I've done the right things. And I mean, I can only appreciate and thank my parents because, you know, at a certain age, your parents are the ones that direct your steps. And then at a certain point, you know, you gotta let your kids' wings fly. And, you know, my dad putting me into Bullis, the high school that Quincy Wilson goes to. He doing his thing. Like, I didn't want to go to school an hour away from my friends in my area, my predominantly black area that I came from. But, you know, it's what I had to do to be here now. And it's just really crazy to just look back at all the sacrifices that were made from when I was a young girl. That's why I feel like my parents just cry.
So speak to that, because we have a lot of young people that watches this show, and we like to use our guests, right, to help create or inspire and empower those young kids that are watching. Your start, getting into track, you mentioned your parents, like the evolution of Masai, getting into track. Were you opposed to it? Did they just put you in it? Like, how did it all start?
Yeah, so I never was opposed to it. I started off doing gymnastics, and I have 3 brothers, and they were just kind of out there doing it to get faster for basketball and football. And I was like, this looks a little more fun than gymnastics, because the gymnastics I was in at the time was moving a little too slow. And I don't think I have a slow attention span. I think I have I'm kind of all over the place. So for me, I was just like, that looks more appealing and intriguing, so I want to, do that. And then I went to the track, never looked back. Wow. And track is the only sport that I've competed in competitively since I was 8 years old. And I haven't gotten burnt out yet. I don't think it'll be anytime soon, because I know that there's so much more for me to accomplish. And yeah, I mean, I feel like the journey's just beginning. That's what I said after I won the gold.
Were you like Antoinette? There was this girl that I went to Elm Grove Elementary with, and her name was Antoinette. And Antoinette was the fastest person in 3rd grade, right? And so all the boys, we used to basically just try to gang up on her and see which one of us could beat her. And I'm gonna be honest, ain't none of us ever beat Antoinette.
Dang.
So when you were younger and you realized you were fast, right? Because we all realized it at some point. I actually never became fast, but he ran 4.2 and 40.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so he could really run. But when you were growing up, what was your competitive edge like, right? Like once you realized, okay, this is something I wanted to do, how did you take, okay, this is fun, I really enjoy doing this, my brothers have done it, to be, like this is what I want to do for my lifetime. This is what my passion is. This is what I want my career to be. When did that take place for you?
I don't think it was ever a moment in time where I was like, this is what I want to be my career. I just kind of seen what I just feel like I visualized what I wanted to be, and then I guess I just kind of worked for it consciously or subconsciously, because there was times where I did want to quit in college, and I'm like, I think I'm ready to give this up. Yeah. But I always said, like, I wanted to become a professional athlete. I want to be a professional hurdler or track athlete, whether if it was hurdles or flat track, whatever it was. And I was just like, I'm not really that good at anything else. So I feel like this has to work.
We had this conversation recently.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like this has to work. I mean, I feel like I'm good at other things now that I've discovered it. But, at that moment in my life where I'm like, all right, is this something that I could potentially see myself doing? I'm like, this has to work, because this is where I see myself being the most successful. Yeah. And for me, I think that going to the high school that I went to was highly competitive. We broke national records there. Like I said, Quincy Wilson's killing it out there. And I think that kind of set the standard for like what college kind of looked like. And then when I got to college, my coach is always like, it's about 99.9% of y'all that will go on and get a regular job, and then there's gonna be the 1%. And I always knew that I was that 1%. Wow. Even when it didn't look like it, I just always had a feeling, and I always knew that I was different, but like amongst everybody else.
I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Sofi, the all-in-one finance app. Bro, we all came up in youth sports, and we realized how that could really put a strain on families, trying to get you to and from games, trying to get equipment. That's why Sofi has teamed up with starting quarterback of the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert, to give kids the opportunity to be involved in youth sports.
RC, man, I know from personal experience, man, how, these type movements can help change a young person's life, especially in youth sports. I remember the days my grandmother had to put together $50 just to give me a chance to go and try out. I think that was the best $50 investment ever, but I wish this initiative was around then. And I'm sure it'll help many, many other aspiring athletes and families that can't typically handle the cost. This is gonna put them in position to see the next generation of great players.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why Sofi and Justin Herbert are so big in this with the Game Changers Challenge, to give kids like ourselves when we were young and other athletes that play now and today an opportunity to do so.
And I love what Justin Herbert doing. Y'all know I love when these young dudes, these new and upcomers are giving back. The Sofi Generational Wealth Fund, they are giving $100K to high schools that need help. Like you're saying,
Yeah.
I don't know what I was gonna do if I ain't play ball, but I wish I had this when I was coming up. 50,000 to one school, 10,000 to 5 schools, and they're trying to help out these young kids that want to live the dream that we lived.
And listen, if you're a part of a team that could use an assist, head to SofiGameChangers.com and submit a short video to tell us what makes your team so special.
And don't forget to tell us about the work you've put in, why your team is so special, and what you're trying to accomplish this year. But you only got from now until October the 7th to submit all of those things. You got to submit a video, and don't forget to tell us why. SofiGameChangers.com, they're going to hook you up.
Tell them Pivot sent you over there. Good luck, everybody. We got y'all.
The Kentucky thing, they both went to Florida. I went to LSU. So we agree with you about the SEC. And I was listening to you say you really, you didn't go through things, and obviously you said it, but we understand what you meant, those major things, until you got a little older. But getting to Kentucky was kind of a winding road for you.
Yeah.
Explain a little bit how it went, A&M, Tennessee, then Kentucky, and then when that decision happened, how did you feel about it?
Initially, I was verbally committed to Texas A&M, and then the head coach ended up pulling my scholarship because he didn't believe that I was going to be eligible to compete because my grades weren't bad. Let's just put that out there. Grades were not bad, but I went to Bullis, and that is a college preparatory school, so I was getting like A's, B's, and C's when I first entered. And for any of those younger kids out there, those C's are gonna like lower your like weighted grade when it matters most. So just try to get A's and B's in your earlier stages. Because I went to Riverdale Baptist, and coming from a public school, the curriculum was completely different than a college preparatory school in Potomac, Maryland. And I did struggle a little bit when I first got there. It was definitely an adjustment period in my life, being from Prince George's County, then going to Potomac, Maryland. It's an hour drive. I'm barely sleeping. I'm waking up at 5:25 every morning to catch the bus, and then I'm working a full shift in high school. Like, I'm staying after for practice, and then I'm getting on the bus an hour back. So it was just a very long day, and I wasn't used to that. So I wasn't getting no D's or nothing, but definitely A's, B's, and C's at first, and then my last 2 years, I kind of got it together. But to say the least, he didn't believe that, I could be eligible. And I mean, we just throwing it out there. I got SEC all academic honor roll every 4 years at Kentucky. Wow. And then I was jumping back to the, college story, I ended up committing to University of Tennessee. And then the coach who recruited me was like, all right, I'm leaving. You coming with me? And I'm like, I guess. Let's go. So then he went to Kentucky, and I just followed him. I didn't take a visit. I didn't know how the dorms looked. It ended up being the best school out of all the schools I visited. It ended up being the best team. Like, the team camaraderie, everything about it. Everything was just like that at-home feeling that everyone says you're supposed to get when you go on a visit. And I got that at Kentucky once I signed and I was there. I was looking up the dorms on YouTube. And like I said, I mean, I have so much faith, and I just feel like it was just of God. The fact that
stuff so ordered.
It was just so ordered. It was just, I was supposed to go here, then here, and then I ended up here. It wasn't even in my top 5. I took 5 visits to all SEC schools. Neither was Kentucky. Like, Kentucky wasn't even in the rear view, nothing. Like, I wasn't paying attention to Kentucky. Ended up going to Kentucky. I'm still there 5-6 years later.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just has spoke for itself, truly.
awesome.
It's crazy.
Talking about the order, talking about your goals, like every time we talk to track people, the NFL, you know it's millions of dollars.
Right.
Like you see contracts on
Yeah,
TV.
yeah.
And for you to say like, when you looked at it like, this is my path, was the path to win this? Cause I couldn't look at track as I'm about to set myself up for life.
Right.
And I know you made a bunch of money NIL.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that and all that stuff. But it's just, I want to be the fastest woman to get over these hurdles.
Yeah.
Like to say that your path is weird for me because my thing was all about money. I'm about to make it to the league to get these millions off these people.
Sure.
What was the thought of my path is track?
I think if you're doing track and field, you have to love it because it hurts very bad. And like you said, it's not at the gate. We're not making 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 million dollars probably ever. But I hope that I could change the game. But I think that for track, you just have to love it. You have to. The monetary value can't be attached to it just because, it's not a high-paying sport. It's not a highly watched sport like a football or basketball. So I think you just have to really, really love it. And that's what I told anybody that comes into college. I'm like, you better love it, especially as a professional. You better love it because it's going to be your full-time job. And I don't know. In my mind, I think the goal was just to be good. I feel like in my mind, this is me. Never chase the money. The money's always gonna come if you're doing what you love. That's just me. And there has never, by the grace of God, since 2021, I have not asked my parents for a dime, a nickel, or a quarter. I've been supporting myself. I got a new car. I'm about to buy a house. And I'm a track athlete, although I do have, my NIL and stuff. And that's what kickstarted, everything. But I never got into social media initially for what it could do for me. I just love to post. And then the money came with it. So for me, my motto is, at the end of the day, never chase money. Money will come to you if you're doing what you love.
And you said, I heard you praised your mom in a number of interviews about her. I don't want to say advising you, not checking you about the money, advising you. Your mom is a damn doctor. She's a very intelligent woman. But you had to have. We all fucked off and we got a check.
She got that Benz. I know that.
I got that after 3 years.
I seen the Benz. I seen it in front of a Rolls Royce.
I didn't get the Rolls Royce. My mama got that.
Oh, she did? I seen some.
Okay,
It wasn't mine. It wasn't mine, though. It wasn't mine. It was rented, but we had to get it for the pictures. It wasn't mine. But the Benz is mine.
Okay, I seen.
And I'm about to get a G-Wagon.
I seen that jewelry.
So just stay down for that.
I know how much that Gucci ring costs because of my wife.
This is an Olympic ring.
That ain't the Gucci. Oh, okay, never mind. Don't get that Gucci ring. That bitch high.
He wears 6 rings. He don't know a lot about fashion.
I got a Cartier.
This is the uncle that you don't. This is the uncle that you don't really want to hang around you. He gonna embarrass you. He gonna pull up with Jordans with no socks. That's how he gonna pull up.
Hey man, my ankle
I know them
last. Y'all can go to
feet
hell.
stink,
But how hard is it? You brought up NIL, just having money that young, and it seems as if you've done well with it.
Yeah.
You talking about buying a house. I've heard you talk about buying real estate. Like you're trying to reinvest it and be there. But I would say because you were on a college campus. So I look back, we had no NILs.
Yeah.
I look back and think when I was 19, 18 years old, if somebody gave me $500,000, somebody gave me $1 million, I'd have went crazy. You're doing well by it, but you know your teammates, you've seen people in the past. Is that NIL stuff scary for some people that don't have your mother, don't have the the system around them like you do?
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I feel like there's a difference in NIL. People aren't I guess they are now. But, these schools are now offering millions of dollars to these athletes to come to the school. That's a completely different ballgame. For me, I don't personally agree with that side of NIL. I agree with, okay, if a brand wants to work with you, if a brand wants to sell your jersey, then you should have, the opportunity to say yes or no to it. But the offering $150 or not even 150, because that's too low. 800, 900, 1,000, I mean, 1,000,000 to come to the school before you even touch the field or the court. Like that, to me, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I am fearful for them because, like I said, if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't have known about taxes, LLC, S Corp, everything. SEP IRA, all these different investments. I wouldn't have known anything. And at the time that NIL became a thing, it was just like, all right, here, you can make money, you can make money. There was no rules or there was no guidance, there was no courses or anything. It was just like, all right, you make money now, you know, as long as we approve the contract, you're good. Didn't say anything about the tax piece, about nothing. I'm like, shout out to my parents, not even just my mom, my parents. They're like, they're guiding me, they're helping me. I was like, no, you gotta, you know, take some of this out aside for your taxes. I'm like, taxes? I've only heard about it, but I didn't think they had anything to do with me.
The hell with FICA? Who is FICA? I
No,
don't know
for
that
real. And they're like, no. She's like, no, they come knock on your door if you don't pay. I'm like, bro, take the money. Take it. I don't want no problem, especially not with the IRS.
They gonna get theirs as sure as you are. Believe that.
Absolutely.
We had Lele on the show before the Olympics, and I can be honest, I wasn't rooting against you. I was just rooting for you to get second, right? And so, you know, on this side, the races were coming on at weird times, right? So
Yeah.
I believe I watched the final in the car at Target. I was waiting for them to bring my bags out, right? And I watched it, and I'm just gonna be honest, regardless of what it is, like I've raised 2 brown girls, you know, 25 and 19. There's a sense of pride we feel, like we embrace you all, right? It's all a part of what we do and who we love. For you, you become Team USA, but it's an individual sport.
Yeah.
You talked about the Prefontaine and having a hurdle hitting issue. Did you get an opportunity to speak with her after the 100-meter final and talk to her? Because obviously you went gold.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to like talk to her after?
No, I did not, unfortunately.
You don't seem like happy about
No.
about
You
that.
know, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, we're Team USA, but we're all competitors. And I understand what it's like to have a hurdle hitting problem. So, you know, I had to work through those things, and I was not confiding in my competitors personally, just not me. And I would never look to my competitors for a word. I'll look to someone else outside of my event, but not someone in my event unless they're like a vet, like who's on their way out probably. And that's just me. That's just the competitiveness in me. But if we're actively battling it out every weekend, no. I mean, I have to say, like, me and Nia Ali, she's 34, 35 years old, 3 kids, and she's still killing it. But she's shown me that mentorship from when I was in college. So now that we're both on the professional circuit, she's like one of the only people that do the same event as me that like I could confide in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she's been to the Olympics, she's been to the Worlds, she's been on the professional circuit for such a long time. So her experience is just through the roof. But if we're actively competing against each other, I'm not really.
So you really are a dog then. Like you mentioned,
Yeah.
like you mentioned it earlier, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, right? You come in here, the edges, fire, off top, right?
Thank you.
whole fit put together.
Thank you,
Great
appreciate it.
personality, all this charisma, and you was like, I'm a savage. And I was like, she ain't no savage, she cute.
Aw,
You know what I
thank
mean?
you.
You a savage with
Thank
baby
you.
hair?
Yeah, she's a savage with baby hair.
Put up that Olympic race. Put up that Olympic race.
But
and
she
see
You know
how
what I'm
that
saying?
race
She
listen to
before
Boss
she
Man,
got it,
though.
Oh, absolutely. Come
a
on
savage with baby hair.
RC.
And then
She listening to D-Lo.
Yeah.
You'd be
And then she was
surprised.
Like, hey, and then she was like, I'm a dog. Okay, yeah, you're like 115. And
Yeah.
that's maybe. You know what I mean?
How do you know?
But for you though, like the other things you get to do, you know, like there's a lot of people that are fast, right? But they can't captivate an audience.
Yeah,
They can't get people to watch them make watery oatmeal.
yeah.
You know, how have you started to learn and understand how important it is to be a brand outside of what you can do on the track?
Yeah, I don't think I really understood it until NIL, like until the monetary piece came with the social media part. And I think once I started to get the right people in line with my brand and to hone down and understand what my brand entails or what it is or what I want to align myself with, I don't think I really had an idea of what that was. But once I started to understand it, I just started to just know how important it is to, of course, like say the right things, look the right way, because what you put out there, you're gonna get back. And at the end of the day, I just want to allow people to understand what I stand by, what I stand with, and who I truly am as a person, not just who I am on the internet. What I promote and who I am, I want it to just be seamless and just natural when you see me online and when you see me in person.
Right.
And I don't know, I just think I've been blessed enough to just be appealing, I guess, to the public eye. I have never had a problem with gaining followers or getting people to like tune into what I'm doing, and that's just a blessing. I think that when it's something that you just authentically love to do, it's just natural. So I'm still in the process of building my brand. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still young. I'm still figuring it out. I just got a publicist, and I'm still adding the different pieces to the puzzle, but I'm still working on that.
Even in that process, like at your age, like we come in the game, and it's definitely in sports, like we follow people, and we have an extreme admiration for, let's say Michael Jordan or King James, LeBron, or D-Wade, or whomever. Is there any one person you noticed following you on social media? You was like, whoa, this is big.
It's probably a couple that I actually can't think about right now, but dang. Oh, I mean, Easy Money Sniper. What's his name? Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Yeah, KD follows me.
Easy Money Sniper.
Yeah, like I could like just visualize the Instagram tag, but I couldn't think of his name. But yeah, we're from the same area. Mm-hmm. So when he followed me back, I'm like, he not gonna follow me back. Like, let me just see though. Right. Let me see. And then he followed me back, and then I seen him at the Olympics, and like he knew who I was. I was like, oh shoot, like this is what's up. Right. And I spoke to that earlier, talking about Sonya Richards and these other amazing people who I watched growing up that now appreciate what I'm doing. It's just inspiring to me, because it's like, all right, girl, you're doing something right. Like,
You talk about seeing KD out there. The stories of this Olympic Village. Is it as wild? Because I'm from Atlanta. I was there in '96, and all the stories came out about the Atlanta one. Is the athlete dorm, is it as wild as the stories we hear? Because there's not many people I know that have been in them dorms.
Yeah, I don't want to say the Americans have a different experience, but Team USA did set us up very nice. We got mattress toppers, we got air conditions in the room. Some teams were getting blasted out by the heat, like bugs in the room because they trying to keep the door open, and they're sleeping on actual cardboard beds and a cardboard head. What is it? The bed frame. Oh wow. Cardboard bed frame. So I feel like my perspective is a little different, but what I could speak to is how poor the food was. That was pretty terrible. But shouts out to Team USA once again. They had a high performance center for us where they had meals 2 times a day, lunch and dinner, and if it wasn't for that, just know, you said I was 115, I would have been 95.
Hey, Masai, I just want you to know you are so sweet.
Thank you.
Because that wasn't what he was talking about.
Oh, what was you talking about?
Because
I thought it was some sex going on over there.
I am weak.
Yeah, when she answered you,
I'm thinking he talking about just the Olympic Village experience.
Hey, no, because when he said 1996, he was talking about Freaknik.
Freaknik and all that.
See, I wasn't locked in.
She not even.
What was it, 1960 what? That's what my daddy. That's what my dad
said. 96.
I'm about to say.
You thought I was around with Jim Crow?
1960 is crazy because my mama 19 so I ain't about to expose her, but
Listen,
nah.
Masai, I was not there with
I mean-
colored only water fountains. Now I know I'm old. I'm not that old.
Well, let me speak back to that. Let me speak
Would
back
you
to
hit
that.
both of them? Would you even wanted to treat it like a white man? The other
That's
half
what
of
I'm
you.
saying. I'm half white.
Let me speak back to that. I wasn't partaking in any of that. I don't know what was going on. I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nothing. But they did give out condoms and, things like that so people could be safe. But it is kind of wild. You just like in a village with just everyone from around the world. It's like, yo, what's going on right now? Like, I've never experienced something like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I heard it's true. That's why they made the anti-sex beds.
Oh, in there, yeah.
They make a what?
That's why the beds are cardboard because they're quote unquote anti-sex beds. And it was like someone was like, you think the best athletes in the world ain't? I mean, you could get the job done on anything if you wanted to.
Yes.
But they were the motive behind the cardboard beds was anti-sex beds.
I never knew that.
Yes,
I thought it was just cheap.
No, it's they specified anti-sex beds. Yeah.
Like, you like to stand up, like, never mind. But let's fast forward, please. Please fast forward. No, it's hard to segue.
You just gotta go.
Along
you
your-
gotta get it. You just gotta segue.
Yeah. So throughout your journey, you've experienced peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
You've been through a lot. You spoke about the struggles. We see the beautiful gold medal right there. It's not always that. That's the highlight of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share with us the highlight throughout your journey?
The highlight.
Yeah, that one special moment. Like if you can look back, the most memorable thing throughout all of this, to even maybe have gotten you to the gold medal.
Yeah.
Does anything stand out?
Yeah, I think the highlight moment for me was honestly Olympic trials. And I say that because it was the race that just showed me what belief can do when you have belief in yourself. So I think that race just changed the game for me. Like I said, I proved myself right, but I proved everyone else wrong. And it was just like a mind-blowing experience. Like when I came, because mind you, that was the first time I've ever won like a national title. The only thing I've ever won ever since I was a kid. I've won like, regular races, but when it came to like nationals, AAU, USATF, I was always third or second. Came to college, third or second. I won SEC championships my last year indoor, and then I lost NCAAs indoor. I lost SECs outdoor, but I was a collegiate record holder, and I lost NCAAs as a collegiate record holder. Wow. And at that moment, I was like, none of those losses ever matter because I just won the first national title ever of my life, and it was at the U.S. Championships. Hardest team to make. That was the fastest race in history. When you average out all the times, fastest race ever run in history. Wow. And it just showed me that, you just keep waiting and something good gonna happen if you don't give up. And I think that was just the life-changing moment because it just propelled me into attaining this goal right here. And it's still just a dream that doesn't feel real.
The fastest race you mentioned that race being the fastest race if you average down all of the times. What is it going to take for you? Your personal best is
25, yeah.
25. To carve off another, what would that be?
0.14.
0.14 to break the 100-meter women's world record. What is it going to take to get there?
If I tell you, I might have to kill you. It's like, I'm playing.
I mean, I'll die for it.
No, I mean...
Because I want you to get it.
No, 100% I know that I will, and that's the thing. Like I said, everything I've spoke has come to pass. So I know I'll be the world record holder at some point. I don't know when, I don't know where. Like I said in my interview after the Olympic trials, I mean, the world record before the 12:12 was 12:20. So the only thing I'm thinking in my head, I seen the 12:25, I'm like, damn, this gotta be number 3, number 4 all time. And at that point, it was number 4. Now I'm number 5 all time. And I'm the number 2 American ever. So, yeah, I'm just saying, if you watch that race, in the front half of my race, all I'm going to say is it could be much better. And there's a lot more work to be done. There's a lot more strength to be put on to myself. I'm I'm still very small for like my event. And I'm only 24. I'm not even in my prime that they say. I'm 24. The prime for women is 27, 28, 29. 30 if you one of them, which I know I am. But yeah, so I got a pretty high ceiling that I know at some day, sometime, could be tomorrow, could be in 2 years, could be in my season opener. I don't know, but I know that I will break the world record one day.
So that's obviously goals, like those are goals. Let's say Masai Russell doesn't become the Olympic gold medal winner, right? What else would you love to do? And even now, not even said it, even now that you have that, what are some of your other goals? What are some of the other things that you want to do? And this could be whether it's just things in your community, whether it's other businesses and jobs you want. Like, tell me some of your other dreams and goals outside of track and field.
Yeah, so I feel like track and field will always be the thing that's attached to who Masai Russell is.
Right.
But I think that my goal and my passion and who I am as a person, I just want to give back to the youth. That's why I'm getting ready to start my foundation. I just want to give back to those who are at a disadvantage, who can't afford to come to the meets, who can't afford track spikes to be able to run fast. I think that that's just a goal, a dream, a passion. It's just to truly inspire and just be that example and just showing anybody through any of the cards that you're dealt with, whatever, like you could have all the money in the world or have nothing and you could still end up where you want to get to. And I just want to be that source. And I don't know how that'll look, if it'll be like a public, like a speaking engagement kind of thing, or like just traveling across the country, just talking to people and talking to teams. And yeah, I just want to give back just because I feel like there was so much more that could have been done while I was coming up. Yeah. And I didn't really have that example, like someone that was tangible to see, to touch, to feel. You know, those celebrities just seemed untouchable when they was doing their thing in the track world. And I just want to seem like a person that stays feet to earth and who can connect with those younger, older, and just help out where I can.
I love that.
And Masai, what? Oh, I don't even know how to ask this question too good.
Yo, you make me laugh every time you about to say something.
But what does, so you're 24, you said your prime is 26, 27, so like the next Olympics, I'm doing the math, that's when you in your prime, you riding, you break every record, you set every goal. What does the end of a track career look like? Because we've retired from football and we knew, I can't chase these motherfuckers around no more. Like, gee, these motherfuckers strong and big. Like, what for Masai Russell, like, what does it look like? We're like, I can't run with these motherfuckers no more.
I think for me, I don't know, of course, when that day will come. I pray it's never soon. But for me, I feel like the day that I probably can't run I don't even know what the women's hurdles is going to progress to by the time I'm 28, 29. But at this point in my mind, just to say, just for now, if we're like 10 years ahead and we're still running around at the same times, if I can't get a 12.4 on a good to bad day, then I just need to wrap it up. Because, I don't even think in the next couple of years 12.4 is going to be doing anything, which is scary. Wow. But, if I'm not making finals and making teams and I don't have a sponsor that's helping me out to be able to travel and have the flexibility to do the things that I want, I think that that's when I'll respectfully hang it up. I think that my goal is to get 3 Olympic golds. So, I already started with 1. I said I'll close it out in 32. I'll be 32 years old. I don't know how the body gonna be holding up by then, but I think I got good genes. So I said I'm gonna try to go for 3 goals and then, shut it down and start a family.
So you gotta get that drag leg.
Almost broke his hip. I heard that hip snap right there.
That's what I'm saying. That thing's still in the socket?
Drag leg.
So when you talk about being a dog or being a savage, there's a point in every champion's life where they go from being the hunter to the hunted, right? It's the things you say, the things you do when you're the hunter, they're like cute. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, look at Masai,
Right.
look at her. But when you become the one,
Yeah.
those things, it's like, oh wait, like this ain't cute no more.
Yeah.
Right? Like she feels like she's the one. How do you think you're going to adjust to when like the people that get on the line, like they look at you and they like, I'm measuring myself today
Yeah.
based on how I finish as it pertains to Masai Russell?
Yeah, I think that me competing after the Olympics kind of helped me for what next season would so happen to look like. I mean, I'm an athlete where I could take a loss, but I know like when it matters most, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And I could take a loss and that could just be the past. And I'm looking already towards the future, so it doesn't really matter. Because after the Olympics, I didn't win any Diamond League races. More because of the mental piece behind it. I was just like, all right, like, what am I out here for?
Like I won the
just
Olympics?
Yeah, I just won the Olympics. Now it just feels like I'm back in the regular season. I mean, I still was running good, but I came second 2 times and I came third. But I told people, I'm like, I didn't win the race right before I won the Olympics. And I won by 1/100th of a second. So at the end of the day, regardless of what anyone says, I mean, like you said, send them a picture of it. Because at the end of the day, you know, it's like, you know, I understand that. Like, I understand that I am the one to catch, to beat, whatever that is. But I think that I'm always going to go back to the Lord. Like, I don't think that he would have gave me that if I wasn't able to withstand what comes with it.
Yeah.
I think I had to take all those losses to feel what it feels, to get that, but to also know how to handle that. And I mean, I just feel like there's nothing that I can't do without, you know, enough time, enough focus, my dog mentality. I say when I get out on the track, I mean, it's 2 different people. Like the person you're talking to right now is not the person you see when you compete. Like it's a whole different demeanor. And, you know, she ain't one to play with.
I will say this, I watched it happen here, and you actually kind of scared me, right? Like you, when we were just having regular conversation, I was like, man, I love her. She is the nicest and personable and charismatic. Look at that smile. And then I ask you like a competitive question, and the eyes got low.
Yeah, come on
You know
now.
what I mean? You couldn't see the little jewel on the
The little
teeth.
tooth
no
dip.
more.
Forehead crinkled. Dude.
Yeah, I was like, what is?
Nah,
They
yeah.
say she hate losing at anything, cars, you know, everything across the board.
Who said that?
That's what they say. But no, I usually we usually take a moment to ask our guests their biggest pivot. But we've heard a lot about your journey, the ups and downs, you know, the struggles that eventually led to this success in Olympic gold. I just want to take a moment, really, and just give a shout out and a big thank you to your mom, Dr. Sharon Russell, right?
Yes.
And your dad,
Yes.
Mr. Mark
Yes.
Van Russell.
Yes.
And just tell them thank you. I think they did an amazing job of
Thank you.
raising a beautiful, intelligent, very competitive young lady.
Thank
and
you.
congratulations to you all. Certainly well deserved.
Yeah.
You've represented this country. I mean, the way you move, everything about you, we appreciate it. You know,
Don't
make
make
sure
me
you
cry.
continue to move that way and give back
Yeah.
to everybody that's watching this and everybody you come across,
Yeah.
man. So big pivot, salute, way to go.
Thank
For
you
sure.
so much. That means so much.
Thank you for pivoting with us. We appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all.
That was fun.
Yep.
That was, hey.
Love it.
So can I get a wristband for this Olympic Village?
I gotta
Yo, this dude.
Hold on, before you put that
Hey,
up,
Chad,
I got to
honestly
check it
though,
out.
Yes,
your
it's
knees for
heavy.
sure ain't good
Oh, yeah,
enough to
this
hump
is
on them
nice.
beds. Your knees.
That thing is like this,
Yeah,
though.
your knees gonna give out.
All I
coach.
need double cardboard.
This is
Oh
nice.
my god.
Hey, when you answered it, I was like, I already
That is
knew.
funny because I had
You was-
no
you was so
idea.
sweet, Chad.
I was like,
Nah, I ain't gonna.
go ahead, touch it.
No,
Why
no.
you not gonna touch it?
Bro.
Nah, you earned that. I just like looking
Bro,
at it.
that's
It's very
your
big.
biggest-
You always
Honestly
do that,
though, honestly though, congratulations. Like that's
Thank you, thank you.
That's
No,
an
for
amazing
real.
accomplishment, and I do love like team sports. Cause like, let's say I have a bad play, he might make the tackle.
Yeah.
Right. So that give us an opportunity to win. Like what you saying, you even talking about your race where you went 12.25, oh, I could be better on the front end.
Yeah.
Another day, that could be a loss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the stress I don't want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember
It's a lot.
when they tried to make me run track in high school,
you.
I said, look, I'm just going to run the 400 because that's a long time.
400
it's
is crazy.
It's a lot that can happen around then to give me a chance to win.
I ran the 110 hurdles.
I ran
That's why I know
400.
about the back leg. I ran,
Hey.
You did back leg. I didn't see you do that from
Masai, what you do? You get on the line and the girl knock knee though. You gonna feel like you got her? Cause he knock knee bad. You gonna
How you used to be running?
Man, that wallet's so raggedy. Your back pocket's so heavy.
Weak, yo. You guys are so funny.
What you
It
said
was
you ran,
such a
Chan?
pleasure, bro.
What you said
Your
you ran?
back
110
pocket's
hurdles.
No, what was your time?
What was your
though?
time?
14.
Ran like a 14.3 or something.
Garbage.
like
That's
that.
not
It wasn't bad. No,
terrible.
county, I was.
Why you trying to be so
I was
nice?
In
number-
high school, high school.
I was
Nah, it's
number
raggedy.
2 in the
I
county.
went 10-2.
Then I went to the
They
region.
ran
So you was really fast.
Yeah, I had
But how much you weigh when you went 10-2 though?
212. I was still big.
He was a big dude, you know what I'm saying?
So you really could have ran for real if you wanted to.
That was my only one college
gonna take a picture
regret.
right here.
I didn't run indoor.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Trust, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up.